I hope you like Asian culture, cause this weekend there's a big festival in Stockholm called Made in Asia. Come on, let's see what we can find here. Made in Asia is a festival celebrating, well, all things Asian. Before 2023, this was an annual festival held in Belgium and the Netherlands, but as of this year, there's also a festival being held in Stockholm, Sweden. The event in Brussels has been going on for 20 years, and 70,000 people visited the event in 2019. It's not quite 70,000 people here in Stockholm today, but it's still quite popular. This event is arranged by Heroes, the biggest network of pop culture events in Europe. Comic-Con Stockholm is another event that they arrange, but that one doesn't happen until November, so it's good that we can focus on learning everything we can about Japan and East Asia here today. There's a lot to see and do here. First of all, there's a lot of food. There's a food plaza with lots of different Asian dishes, and there's a lot of boba tea as well. And of course, tons of different Asian snacks you can buy. There's also a lot of workshops, for example, learning calligraphy, or learning how to speak Korean, or learning how to make cosplay. There's also a lot of different performances, as well as martial art exhibitions. If you want to see how Taido is performed, you can see it here. And you can also try it out yourself, or try kendo or kenjutsu, or lots of different cool martial arts. Sorry, I have no idea who this is, but he seems to be pretty popular. And then of course there's a lot of anime and manga here. Nothing else is to be expected. So you're one of the artists here at the Made in Asia.
Yeah, I'm an artist of Nosebleed Studio.
Have you been drawing for a long time?
All my life, but comics and manga, especially since I was like 12 or 14, so about 16 years.
Do you have your first volume coming out now?
Next year at some point, yes.
Anxious about it?
Yeah, like it's a lot of stuff to produce, and like I want to make it a quality product and convey the story I want to tell. It is like on its surface about giant robots fighting monsters, but it is more than that. It's about pilots being kind of propped up as idols, as like celebrities, and kind of toxic celebrity culture and capitalism cashing in on worldwide catastrophe. So it's I'm kind of bringing my own like climate anxiety about our world into a story about giant robots fighting monsters.
And let's not forget cosplay. There's a lot of cosplay here as well. Yesterday I was a Fatui Pyro Mage from Genshin Impact, but yeah, it was too hot. I wanted to have something simpler today. And there's tons of arcade games as well, even though it's really hard to find an empty spot, because everyone wants to play all the time. And there are other types of games as well. Go, for example. a game that I really like, but I really suck at it as well. Here's a Swedish reigning champion in Go. Do you have any wise words for aspiring Go players?
Yes, I do. I would say if you're an aspiring Go player, first things first, find out what is Go, where can I learn more of it, and learn the rules, and then just try. Don't be afraid to practice, and just, if you lose, no worries. I can tell you this, Go is fun the first day you learn it, and I've played it for 20 years now, and it's just as fun, if not more fun. So that's something, Not a lot of activities are like that, Just go for it. And I think that's true for almost anything you want to learn in life. Don't be afraid to try, and just don't attach your ego to it. Just be humble and be like, okay, Go is objectively difficult. So me not understanding everything from the beginning, that's not a big deal. That's true for anybody who tries it.
I have a bit of a geeky question.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Hikaru no Go?
Of course I have. That's how I learned of Go in the first place. My younger brother at the time watched the anime Hikaru no Go. And then I read the manga Hikaru no Go. And we started playing Go. We learned on the internet how to play Go. And then that summer, me and my brothers, we played Go all summer. And at the end, I got the bug, man. I was trying to find the closest Go club. And it wasn't in my hometown. I grew up in Norrköping, and there was no Go club there. So I found out that there was a Go club in Linköping by the university. So I took the train over there in the weekends to play Go with people there. And so I fell in love with Go.
And of course, there's a ton of merchandise here as well. And then, of course, there's a lot of meet and greets with famous people. These guys are lining up to see Holland, which apparently is not a country in Europe. It's a K-pop artist. The whole Western world has been obsessing over Japanese and Korean culture for quite some time now. I guess we're all weebs here to a greater or lesser extent. I can't say if Sweden has more or less of a fascination with Japan compared to other countries, but one thing that struck me is that Sweden and Japan, they do have a lot of similarities. Sweden has a sense of collectivism, and even though we don't clean hotel rooms before we leave them like the Japanese do, we do leave them pretty neat anyway. And just like Japan, Sweden is a capitalist society with collectivist values, as opposed to, for example, the US, which is hyper-capitalistic with individualistic values. Sweden has a background in socialism, and I guess that's where those values come from. But on the other hand, Japan has privatization that actually works. Take the trains, for example, running like clockwork. In Sweden, not so much. Maybe Japan is what Sweden wishes it could be. But let's not forget that there are many issues with Japan as well. Low fertility, for example, racism, work-life balance. But the similarities between Sweden and Japan are still very noticeable. Maybe there's a sense of familiarity we get when we see all of this. And that's about it for this very quick look at Made in Asia Stockholm, the very first one. Let's hope there's many more to come. Like and subscribe, and also check out this video up here in the corner. It's really good. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased. It's really good, I promise. Sort of.